Right, guys, we've just finished a video with our team of the Premier League season. We had it with Man City players, but Man City have been so dominant that we wanted to put forward a team without Man City players. So, Nubaid, you're going to go up first. Your team is on the screen now in terms of your team of the season, but without those Man City players, who have you gone for instead?
So, Lisandro Martinez comes in. I think when he played the first 2 Premier League games, people were saying, in particular, one Jamie Carragher was saying he's not made for the Premier League. And I think you can see when he plays, not only is he a general at the back, not only does he win his duels, he's also outstanding in possession.
Are you getting caught up in the story here? Because I thought that a few people have done this. But like, when on the long list of decent centre-backs this year, are you giving that to him just because people had to go at him at the start of the season because he's short?
I'm trying to think.
It's true, isn't it?
I'm trying to think of defenders who would be competing with him.
So you got
in terms of like impact-wise, United were previously with Maguire and Lindelof.
Yeah.
So like impact-wise, he comes in and they're much better. And also when he's not been in the side, you can see how shaky they are. They can't play out from the back at all. Yeah. And he's the only. He's by far their most technical player. Yeah. He's unbelievable. So. In that, I just had to pick him. And then I'm also thinking of balance. Like I want the ball at Martinez's feet, not Botman's. Okay, and 2 left-footed centre-backs, they may argue, but I think that's the new thing. That's going to be the next thing. I think 2 left-footed centre-backs will be the next thing.
Right.
So that's where I've gone there. And then back, midfield 3, McAllister. I absolutely love him. I think we said before, he's like a baby Gundogan. He can do everything. He's so concise in possession. And he's just one of my favourite players. I love watching him. So he was almost like a no-brainer, right side of that midfield 3.
Obviously heavily linked to Liverpool. That's played no part.
No bias.
I picked this before that, I think.
Okay. In terms of him maybe being that Gundogan kind of player, where do you see, if he goes to Liverpool, where do you see him playing? And is that his best position?
Yeah, probably as a left-sided 8. I think during this season for Brighton, occasionally he's played as in a pair in the 6, which may be useful. But then now Liverpool obviously have Trent who comes inside, so they almost end up with 2 6s anyway.
Yeah.
And because of his ability in possession, which is what Liverpool have struggled with actually since Gini Wijnaldum left. The defence don't have a midfielder they can give it to there where they know it's secure. He'll be now that player. It was Thiago, but he's not fit enough. So that would be probably, I think, where he fits in. And then João Palhinha, who I think people have forgotten about.
Been brilliant.
But he's been so good. Like
I saw the stats, in terms of tackles, he's made 145, and the next best is 100.
Mad.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it's like 90, 80.
I think he's extremely underrated.
Yeah.
Probably equally, I'm guilty of that as well.
Someone else should have bought him. I can't believe Fulham got him. I can't believe
How long will they keep him?
Yeah, it's one of those now where I think didn't they get him for like 28 million or something? Can't remember exactly. You'd imagine now like teams like Manchester United are going, we'll pay 65 for him because he has been that good. And also Fulham have done very well this season as well. And then I've gone with Ødegaard. Previously my midfield was all Man City. Ødegaard only just missed out, but I think although I have previously criticised him for hiding at times, I do think in that Arsenal midfield towards the end of the season, if there was one guy who was desperate to win it and was trying to do everything he could, would be Martin Ødegaard. I think he's probably been, after De Bruyne and Gundogan, probably the 3rd or 4th best midfielder in the league.
Yeah.
So, and playing for Arsenal. So in the front 3, Salah stays, Martinelli stays, just Kane comes in for Haaland.
Nice.
Happy guys, you found ways to get Kane in.
I just think it's just justified. It's justified.
I'll be really honest, I was quite close to putting Tony in. Because I think for Brentford, he actually... Brentford are nowhere near where they are without Tony.
I agree, and I would do a special honorary mention for Ivan Toney, but there is no way you put Ivan Toney in over Harry Kane.
Yes.
There's just no way.
Yeah, I'm still considering.
I hear you.
The fact it was a consideration.
Good few penalties in there as well for Tony, I saw recently, which I think kind of makes it not misleading because I think his overall play is brilliant. But yeah, you've got to put Kane in there, which...
Crazy.
Abbi, you already had Kane in there, but what are your changes without... the City players?
I did quite a few changes, to be honest with you, because I felt there were so many City players that should be in my initial ones. So kept Ramsdale, Trippier, Saliba. I bought in Botman, who you touched on before. I think he's been absolutely brilliant for Newcastle this season. Proper staple at the back. Really great partnership with Dan Burn as well. Estupiñán, again, super consistent. I brought him in. I think you had him from earlier on. High energy, so important to kind of the way that Brighton set up and attack. Really good, solid defensively as well. Midfield, I brought in Caicedo Caicedo. For me, proven this year why so many people want him. I mean, you bring him in for £4.5 million. I mean, absolute bargain, and credit to Brighton for how they do business. He's probably going to go north of 70 million this summer wherever he goes. They did well to keep hold of him in January as well. He's defensively really sound in the middle of the park, great at breaking up play. He can also drive forward the ball. Casemiro, who we touched on earlier, I put him in there because I think he's been massively important to
Couldn't
United.
agree more, Abby.
Massively
As discussed in
important.
another video, the other team
Yes.
season video.
The two
Go
of
check
them.
that out.
The two of them.
If Ten Hag's watching this right now, that is the midfield player
See,
you want,
there
my
we go.
friend.
This is what you want
Yeah,
from
well,
my
Man
team.
United were linked
There you
with.
go.
They could have had Caicedo
Yes.
a long time ago.
Yeah,
Missed
four
it.
of it.
And do you know what? People actually mentioned about the price tag when he came in. They said, "Oh, he's getting to the end of his career. Is it just a payday?" He has changed. He's changed the mentality of that midfield. I mean, he's been such a leader, and he's exactly what they want. As well as
Now she says it.
Lisandro Martinez. Yeah, because we're talking about this team now. Now I'll talk about this team. Before I was about City, but him and Lisandro Martinez, big reason why United are finishing the top four for me. Rashford.
Sorry, just quickly.
Yes.
I just want to touch on that assist. That assist was they said at the start of the season when he came, he can't pass a ball.
Oh, he can.
And the outside of the foot pass for that goal was outrageous against Chelsea. Please proceed.
Please proceed. Rashford, again, he's in there. I know that we spoke about, he maybe hasn't had a full season of being consistent, but I am seeing more consistency than I've ever seen before from Rashford. A leader, really good contribution this season, 17 goals, 5 assists. And I think that we're starting to maybe get the promise back in Rashford that we were hoping for. And United fans were very much like, he can kind of go at the start of last season. And now they absolutely would not be getting rid of him. Martinelli I brought in. I think he's stepped up massively this season. You forget he's 21 years old, 15 goals this season, 5 assists. I think he actually got better during the run-in as well. Did have a little bit of dip in form, but who hasn't this season? It's been extremely long. Both feet, has the ability to just terrorise defences. I've loved watching him if I can take my Spurs hat off, I've loved watching him. And I've kind of kept Odegaard as well from my original team, and Kane as well.
Okay, up top. It's a good team. Very good team. I like it. Structurally sound.
Are you happy with my formation, Nubaid?
I don't oppose it, but I hate changes.
Was it? I mean, it's been written down as a 4-1-4-1, but it's more a 4-3-3. I'll be honest. In terms of my changes, I didn't have as many Man City players as you guys. I think that's something sort of like ingrained in me, where I kind of like the underdog. So if you're kind of up there, I was like, well, you've got a great life, so go away. I want to pick someone else. But I obviously did have some Man City players in there. So in terms of my changes, I brought in Botman for John Stones. I think you could put Shah or Botman in there. I think it's been a real unit there. Obviously with Pope behind as well has been fantastic, and kind of been missed out when it comes to the goalkeeper situation as well. But yeah, Botman's been fantastic. Probably came in with a bit of pressure as well, as the guy, still young but with a bit of a price tag on his head. I think he's come and done brilliantly. That defence is why they are in the Champions League this season in what's been a ridiculous season for Newcastle. What other changes did I make? I made the change of KDB. Obviously had to come out, straight swap then. It's the first time anyone's really been compared to KDB in terms of content that you've seen out there this year. And Odegaard's come in. And in terms of goals, I think that's a big thing for me, is that I think he's around the similar mark as Martinelli in terms of the goals scored from centre midfield. I think that's massive to say.
I think it's 15. I think
15 goals from midfield is pretty special. And I think he has stepped up at times. I think he's a different kind of leader. And I think whilst everything was kind of falling apart, he was attempting to salvage things for Arsenal. And I think I like his aura. I think as the seasons progress, I think he's going to be pretty impressive.
Love vibes on this show, don't we?
We do. I've changed up my formation a little bit as well. And so I've brought in Bruno Fernandes. The reason I brought in Bruno Fernandes is because I just don't see, as much as Rashford's been crucial with his goals, in terms of the creation that's been provided by Bruno Fernandes, there's been a few moments where you've been disappointed with him and his behaviour maybe, but he is so crucial to that team. I think they do lack a little bit of creativity. They're linked with Mason Mount at the moment, and I think it's been on his shoulders solely, and he has provided key passes, provided assists time and again. Actually should have more assists than he's got. So I wanted to give him a moment.
He's got 8 goals, 8 assists, and I agree he's had a really good season, but it's like the 3rd season straight where he's got less assists than he should have. I think there's something in that I always find Bruno plays really awkward passes sometimes in the final thirds. When Sancho volleys it at hip level and 5 feet over, that counts as a chance created.
Do you not think that's the players around him as well? Like, if he has Harry Kane next season, how many assists does he get?
Well, I mean...
Big ifs.
Probably getting each of his spaces, to be fair.
Sorry?
Probably getting in each other's space, to be fair.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think Harry Kane can go, no, you pick it up, I'll go. Or, Bruno could get some more goals as well, getting in behind, and Kane could play the pass to him. But again, that's another video. And then otherwise, obviously Kane came out and Bruno was coming in for Haaland in my team. So only one up top in this 4-3-3 for me because I've got Saka and Rashford out there who are in my original team.
Nice.
Which team out of these 3 wins? I agree, Nubaid. I can see what you're saying. My team wins. My team's
got the best balance. My team plays football. You just pick the best players.
Surely it's mine. My midfield is unbelievable.
Yours is outrageously defensive and slightly unambitious.
Yeah, it's negative.
But you say that it's negative, but I've got loads of creation. I've got loads of creation as well. Rashford, Odegaard, Martinelli, Kane. How can it's not defensive? Just keeping my back line strong.
Casemiro goes. You guys go deal with it and go win the game for our boy Jimmy Allcott. That's what's occurred here. Right?
Your team can't even get the ball to your forwards. Neither can yours.
Right, guys, you guys decide. Let us know in the comments down below who's got the best team of the season without Man City players, and go check out that video, which is our general team of the season with Man City players.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.